Coffee. I want to talk to you about the story of the fallen soldier and the phone call that Donald Trump made and how it's erupted into a volcano that's spilling its hot, toxic lava all over the internet, all over cable news, everywhere, and sort of like causing a big flame, a huge wildfire on this story. I want to show you the hypocrisy of the left, the right, the middle, and the in-between. And I want to show you the media's part in all of this nonsense. Trump told a soldier's widow her husband knew what he signed up for. His mother says. That's just horrific. Totally horrific. Like the worst. I don't know what more callous person, self-centered, what a dickhead a person would have to be to do something like this. But this is a story, and this is what they're alleging. Now, President Trump's condolence call to the widow of a slain soldier exploded into an accurate row on Wednesday, with the man's mother accusing the president of disrespecting her family and Mr. Trump complaining that his words had been cynically twisted for political purposes. The president had told the widow of Sergeant LaDavid T. Johnson, one of 4 Americans killed in October 4th in an October 4th ambush in Africa, that her husband knew what he signed up for, and he referred to the soldier only as your guy. This is according to Sergeant Johnson's mother and a Democratic congresswoman who both listened to the call. Now, Trump disputes this. He says, that's not what happened. That's not what I said. I have proof. This is what he's tweeted out. Says he's taken up for himself. No, that's not what I said. I didn't say anything like that. That's totally wrong. It's totally false. I would never do that. Okay? But there's been this back and forth going on. And to further muddy the waters, we have a congresswoman out of Florida, Representative Frederica Wilson. She said Tuesday that she overheard Trump tell Johnson's widow that the fallen soldier knew what he signed up for, but when it happens, it hurts anyway. Wilson went on CNN and many other news outlets retelling this story, saying that she was in the vehicle when Donald Trump was on the phone and that they put the call on speaker and she heard this portion of it. And said that Maisha, the wife, the widow of Sergeant Johnson, was totally distraught after the phone call. So, as I looked at this story, first of all, I was enraged immediately because I'm like, what a horrible thing for anyone to do, let alone a president. But it gets better. Donald Trump made a statement that he calls the families of slain officers and that Bush and Obama never did. That was a bold-faced lie. Totally inaccurate, not true, has never been proven by him or anyone else that Trump is the only president in recent history that made phone calls to the families of fallen soldiers. And there you go. There goes a plethora of storylines, narratives, and you can take your pick about what you believe. But I'm going to tell you this. There's a lot of failures on this part. One of the failures is that Donald Trump has made so many false statements. Donald Trump has showed such a lack of sensitivity that this is not hard to believe at all. It's not hard to believe that Trump, without his teleprompter, would say something similar to this. I don't doubt it for a second. It's not because I hate him. It's because I pay attention to what he says, and I know how vicious and toxic Donald Trump can be. When was the last time you heard a president using terms like sons of bitches? When was the last time you heard that? Well, you heard it under Donald Trump. Now, I know a lot of you may think that's cool, and he's just keeping it real. Yeah, keeping it real dumb and divided is what he's doing. So that's the first thing. First thing is the fact that Trump is such a bad speaker, such a bad off-the-cuff deliverer of anything other than division, then yeah, I could imagine him being insensitive on a phone call and rambling and saying something stupid like this. Now, Though I imagine that, here's one of the problems I have with this. Representative Frederica Wilson, she is only adding to the problem because she's running on networks, slamming Trump, calling Trump all types of names, saying that he's, all types of vile characterizations of Donald Trump. And I think that takes away credibility from her. If you want us to believe you, first of all, that you're not an opportunist, right? That you're only in this because you care about the family, why is this becoming about you and Trump? It should not become about you and Trump. It should be about the family and about Trump making an apology to the family. That's what you should be looking for if this was about the family. But I don't believe it was. Second point to Ms. Wilson. Your vile rhetoric or your anger towards Donald Trump should be reserved for an opportunity to discuss that, minus using the backdrop of a dead soldier to do that, a fallen soldier. That's horrible on your part. I was on a website called Twitchy, and they had an article called "Fuck You All." J.R. Salzman shreds assholes, selective outrage over U.S. military deaths. Now, J.R. Salzman is a veteran who lost an arm. He's an amputee. He has a very distinct view, so you should check out his profile. But here's what he says in regards to this. He says it's amazing to see those who basically cheered when a soldier died under Bush bring out the fainting couches for Gold Star families under Trump. You assholes never supported us under Bush. You cheered every time the soldier's death count ticker got higher on CNN. We were political ammo. You marched in your little anti-war protests. You threw fake blood on our recruiting centers. You protested outside Walter Reed every Friday. You shouted about the fierce sense of moral urgency to immediately end the wars and bring all the troops home. And then what happened? Then Obama got elected and you disappeared. You turned your back on the wars. Your protests were all for show. F you and your politics. Yeah. Yeah. I love it. So, look, I'm not here on this show, on this story, to be able to tell you who did what was done, how it happened, what exactly was the exchange of words. I have criticism on both sides of the fence here. One, I feel that there's probably more that was said on that phone call besides your guy and, this is what happens. I'm sure he knew what he signed up for, and, it hurts anyway. I think there was probably a little bit more that was said, but I do believe he said something very similar to that, because I don't believe this wife is going to make this story up. Second, I do have criticism for the congresswoman who finds this as an opportunity to go on several networks and speak on this issue and make it all about Trump when it shouldn't be all about Trump. Let's get an apology out of Trump. Is that what the family's looking for? Well, let's look towards that and stop using your airtime to bash Donald Trump, because you only exasperate the issue and make it less likely that will ever happen. Plus, it seems very sleazy. Third, if Donald Trump wasn't so horrible at his speaking, if he wasn't so insensitive at every turn, if he didn't go to rallies and say the most divisive crap imaginable just to rile up his base, well, then maybe people wouldn't believe the worst of him. Maybe they believe the worst of him because he's shown us the worst of him. That's possible, and I believe that to be true. So on one side, you got Republicans who won't even admit that Donald Trump lied when he said that Bush and Obama never called Gold Star families. That's a problem. On the other side, you got Democrats lapping this up, taking advantage of this incident and not calling out Frederica Wilson to shut up and stop going on these programs, shouting with no corroborating evidence of anyone except her and the woman in that car of what they heard, and not putting it all in context about what else was said. That needs to be thrown in there. And the Democrats are fine to run down the hill without having that information, because why? As it's been said by other neoliberals who I've debated, it fits their agenda. Agenda is more important than truth for these people. And three, Using a dead soldier, a fallen soldier, as political capital in a situation like this, or any situation, means you are less than a human being. You are not ethical. You are unethical. You are unsuitable to be a leader of people. You're unsuitable to be a news outlet in a righteous world. In a righteous world, you wouldn't be a news outlet. You'd be something else. You'd be the WWE. You would be, that's 2W. You'd be the WWE. Yeah, you would be, I don't know, you would be a auctioneer. You would be, I don't know, a voice coach for people who were mute. You would not have the ability to get a platform to be able to use it to further divide us on this issue or any issue. Using a dead soldier, it takes a dead person inside to do such a thing. And I see it too often in politics. There you have it, folks. The media running with a story without corroborating it on both sides. The left saying, well, it fits my agenda, and the right going, well, Trump's a stand-up guy. He never says wrong things. He's never insensitive. This could never happen. And so what if he lied about Bush and Obama? He's just Trump. I find all of it despicable. And if you're like me, you do too. If you're anywhere near Richmond, Virginia, come on out December 2nd to Pints and Ponies with my friend Lee Camp and Chris Mohan and me. That's right, Tim Black will be on stage performing live comedy, baby. So come on out December 2nd, Richmond, Virginia, Pints and Ponies. And also, go to my website, pick up a shirt or a mug or something. Don't fall for the banana in the tailpipe.